Hi guys, in this video I'm going to talk to you about how to replant a plant that's been grown in potting mix into peat. So here I have a beautiful Strelitzia nuclei and it is grown in 100% potting mix, which I'm not a massive fan of. If you've seen my other videos you can start to see why. So I'm going to transplant this one out of the potting mix and swap it across to some peat moss. We start here and we pull her out. Alright, so first step is I'm going to drop in some peat moss into the bottom to give it a nice little base. I'm going to give it, I'm not sure the age of this plant or when it was last fertilised, so I'm going to give it a good fertilise now, but I'm not going to overdo it. So I'm going about a tablespoon in there for that size pot. Now, if you start to break this down a little bit and just tease off some of the soil that is in and around it. Now you don't want to snap too much off, you just kind of want to loosen enough and shake it out. Now just as an example, this plant was given a really good water about 2-3 days ago and there is absolutely nothing left. There is no moisture at all left in that. So break up some of these harder roots just a little bit. Start letting some of that out. Right, now I'm going to leave it at about that. I'm not going to take it all off. If you take it too much of the soil off, you do risk putting this plant in a bit of shock. And you don't need to remove all of that soil. Once it's in the peat moss, all these new root systems are going to start to gravitate towards that. And we've got our base of peat moss as well, so that you're going to get a nice good surrounding of peat. If we drop this guy back in. Alright, now you can start to see just pushing into all those sort of crevices, but not too hard. And here. Remember, try and keep your plant nice and straight. And I like to heap it up just a little bit. Just so that way when you do water, and if you've missed any little gaps, that will start to sink in and you won't have to come back and top it up again. So that's basically how I transplant a plant into peat moss. Quickly show you how to water. Now I like to set it just on a very light stream. And you can see how it just takes a second for the water to soak in. If I was to sit there and just blast it on, all that peat moss on the top, the loose stuff, would flow over. So just take your time, let it sort of soak in, maybe come back in 10-15 minutes, give it another good water, and just baby it for that first few good waters that you give it, just so you get a good moisture level right through the whole plant. Now, another issue that I've had a lot of people ask me about is fungus gnats. Now, I've heard plenty of stories of people getting some soil, planting their babies up into the new pots or whatever with a potting mix, and then within a couple of days they've got fungus gnats in their house. Now, peat moss has gone through quarantine, it has been sterilised, and it is guaranteed there will be no fungus gnat larvae in your peat moss. It's kept in a dry bag and it's just not there. So if you do plant into peat moss, make sure it's always nice and fresh, it's not second hand, and you're going to reduce your risk of having fungus gnats. Now, having saying that, it's not going to completely stop the chance of it, but it can greatly reduce your chance of getting it if you're using a bag of pine bark which has been sitting wet in a hardware store or garden centre. That fungus and that larvae could still be live in that process. Any more questions? Send them through. Happy to try and answer them for you.